Good afternoon, everyone. We are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors, and coaches to build a portfolio business on your terms. And my name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are welcoming you into something quite exciting. We've been hard at work. We've made something new for you, but more on that in a little while. For those of you who are joining us as a hashtag replay, put hashtag replay because we know that not all of you join us live. We obviously love it if you do. And if you've got questions, then live is probably the best way to do that. But if you are joining us later, put a little question in, tag either one of us, and we will get back to you for sure. Today's is a doozy. Like it is a minefield, this one. So the conversations usually happen inside the Connection Hub. So if you're not a member inside the Connection Hub, please do come and join us. We've got well over 7,500, 7,600 people, speakers, authors, and coaches just like you, and the people that look after them, for exactly the kind of conversations that we're having today. Because today we are really looking at which scheduling software do I get to post my posts? How do I increase my productivity and stay present out in the world so that it actually works for me? That's what we're playing with today. But before we get there, because we're just letting you kind of come and play, what's the buzz in your business? Let us know. You may have seen inside the Connection Hub, we are now doing a regular What's the Buzz in Your Business feature as well, so that you can actually share what's going on. It's a great way to just let people know what's going on for you so that you stay more front of mind than you might have been otherwise. But for now, tell us, what's the buzz in your business? What's exciting? What's interesting? What's happening? Put it in the comments. We want to know. And so I can see that 5 of you have joined us, so I'm very pleased about that. So I am still in isolation. I had a trip to Denmark, and
Sorry,
then halfway through.
I'm not laughing. I didn't laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to actually pull back a swear word just then. Just letting you know. Right. So I'm in isolation at the moment, and part of me is really enjoying it, but the part of me that
let's just highlight you're not ill, right? You're in isolation because you went to Denmark, and then
I went to Denmark.
The parameters.
Exactly. Halfway through my visit, suddenly Denmark went on the banned list, and I was like, but you made me stay for 6 days. Like normally I would have left by now anyway. How dare you? So here I am in my house, but they say make lemonade. So I sat and went, what shall I do? So I'll run my vision board workshop virtually. So for those of you who are wanting to take charge of the rest of this year and actually set yourself up for 2021 in a really delicious way, spend Saturday the 17th with me. Like, it is a delicious way to simply, oh, thank you, Kelly. She's put the code in. If you put in have fun, you can have it for 49 quid, but come and join me for the day because virtually for sure. Yeah. It's self-isolation. Hello, not allowed to actually see people, so I'm going to make it fun for me but useful for you. Come and create your vision for the next 15 to 18 months. It is a really great way to spend some time just actually thinking about what you want to create. So there's that. And other than that, we have this new download for you which is related to this. But here's the thing. Scheduling software is a minefield. I know I've already said that once, but this is why we actually decided we needed to do this for sure. Because your social media is a habit, it's a tool, it's a way to network, it's a fun kind of resource, it's a place where we all hang out, right? So let me know when I say social media, what do you think of? Like, how do you think of it? What is it to you? So let me know that. But if you aren't using it to grow your business on your terms, you are definitely missing out. But because there are so many platforms and so many things that you can do, it can also be really confusing and overwhelming. So you might kind of, I don't know how many here, like, sort of have lost hours of days, sort of, and time just watching funny cat videos or looking at pictures of Kelly's dog, because actually there are quite a few
lots of them.
Well, my point here is, so Menika's just saying that she has, as part of the buzz, completed 10 episodes of her talk show, and she's been asked to apply for a committee in the world of psychology. That's absolutely brilliant. Well done, hun. Tell us more for the rest of you. What is going on for you? Our point here, really, though, with this is you can't be everywhere at once. And you want your social media to be something that is really uplifting, energizing, that shares your message in some way. You don't want it to be something that is draining for you. You don't want to have to manage social media and kind of every time you think about it, you go, we don't want it to be a heavy for you because you've got things to do and people to serve, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So we are telling you, and we hardly ever say this, you need a scheduling software. You actively need it. It is your best friend. But actually finding the one that's right for you isn't a one size fits all job at all. Trust us, I have had the joy of testing these for the last, I don't know, 4 months or so, and
Maybe longer, yeah.
I think it's a lot longer, actually. I think I'm being kind to myself, or I'm trying to drown my sorrows around it. So we did actually we did actually. Bless you, Tally. So I'm just going to stop for a second. Tally's saying, actually, total overwhelm, trying to create interesting and relevant posts and then trying to make sure that they're okay for the platforms that you're on. You are going to love today because we are telling you that you need a system that can help you manage that. So we want to talk you through why you need one, why we're saying that it would be such a helpful thing. We resisted for a little while, but actually, for you to be able to show up and manage your time, manage your productivity, it is one of the most perfect things to do because it allows you to take care of the business as usual things so that you can show up on an ad hoc way that actively allows you to engage in the way that you want to engage. And different scheduling software allow you to do different things. So you need to choose. And we are going to help you, aren't we, Kelly?
Yeah, I think we'll start off by, just understanding what we're talking about. For some people that might not even know this exists, that's fine. So we'll explain a little bit about what social scheduling does, because with Helena's in-depth research, we realized that actually they do a lot more than what they did 3, 4, 5 years ago now, right? They are, machines within themselves. And some of them are priced at that level as well. So we're going to demystify it. But again, I think the reason why, and this might be some things for you to think about, the reason why we resisted, since we've been going for 2 and a bit years or whatever it is now,
yeah.
We have a lot of content. If you're in the hub, which the link's in there, you'll see that we put regular posts out. We put posts on our page, and Facebook is our primary platform. So we didn't actually have that much of a big job to be planning across all the different social media platforms. And we use Facebook's own scheduling software, which is free. Facebook love you to use it because it's their own tool. But you can only schedule 2 months in advance. So our VA, poor Mel, would be doing that every 2 months. So, as we're growing and as things growing, we're like, okay, we are now have a presence on YouTube. We are thinking about moving over to LinkedIn. So we needed to do more than what we wanted to do before. Yeah. And I was also put off because I also used to hate it when you had posts from Hootsuite that said posted by Hootsuite, because that for me felt really impersonal. And also you've got to think about algorithms. For us, the majority of our content is in our Facebook group. So when you schedule into a group, you don't have to worry so much about the algorithms that you do fighting for space with a Facebook page, because you already create this culture and this content environment in your group. So for us, scheduling is tasked at our VA. Poor Mel.
Mel.
She's been
wonderful Mel.
And wonderful Mel, yeah. Big shout out to Mel. But with Helena's research of all the various software out there, and then we choosing the one that's right for us, because that we don't say on any software, CRM, membership sites, websites, that you should use this platform, because it's so dependent on what you need as an individual on your terms. So we're going to go through today some of the questions that you need to ask yourself to help you choose the software, and the research that we've done is all put into a lovely comparison guide. So you don't have to spend 4 to 6 months doing this research, testing it all out. You can actually go and shortlist it first of all, and then go and do the in-depth research.
Yeah, you're still going to need to do some research.
Yeah,
we're saying now you're still going to need to do some testing of your own, but we have at least shortcut it for you. So this is definitely a pen and paper job, because we're going to ask you some questions and highlight some things for you to think about.
Taruna's buzzed. She's just let go of a voluntary role which was no longer viable. Ooh.
I know, right? Good on you, honey.
You have to tell us in the membership area. Let's go and have a chat after this afterwards. And Tally's excited about the research and what's coming. So we will hold on. So just for those people, the benefits of actually using a scheduler is we know we've done lots of Facebook Lives on creating content. And if you haven't looked at any of them, go to our recordings, and there are loads about how to create 2 years worth of content, 6 different types of engaging content. We've got lots of training. The problem that people have is the consistency, right?
Sure.
So actually making sure that you're showing up on a regular basis and you're being consistent with your message and you're being consistent with your themes, that's something that scheduling can help with. Because we teach, and especially our Changemaker members will know this, we teach you to have 80% of the posts in your group specifically are around asking your members to engage. And if you're in the Connection Hub, you'll see at least one post every day is us asking you for insights, questions, involvement, those types of things to get our community. And we've got a really engaged community because of that.
Sure.
But all of those posts are scheduled. And then what that allows you to do is make sure that your message is consistent. But then it frees up your time for you to actually increase the engagement levels by actually looking at the comments of those posts and interacting with your members on the content, rather than thinking, what should I post today? What should I do? That stuff's already taken care of. I think our stuff's scheduled until 2022. Am I right? So yeah. I don't know, but
what's not to love about that? Like, trust me, that took a little bit of work, but like, how reassuring that we can now show up in the way that we want to show up and actually have the interesting conversations and use our time wisely.
So, we get 50 to 100 new members in the hub every week, and those people were new to some of our posts. And so, and remember the stat that probably around 3 to 5% of your members will see every post.
Yeah.
So don't feel that, oh my God, I'm putting this every week. Not all of your members are ever going to see all of your posts. So the reason why you're using scheduling software is to be consistent, to free up your time, for then to you actually show up more organically, more spontaneously.
Well done.
Nearly didn't get there. And engage with your audience on the content rather than just put it out there. So that's what we want to encourage you to do today. If you've got any specific questions around scheduling software and stuff, Taruna, oh my God, 2022. Yeah, it's very freeing for us, and you know that we're strategic geeks. So, what we want to cover now are these sort of 5-6 questions to ask yourself to help choose the software that's going to be right for you for various different things. So Helena's going to kick us off.
So I'm going to kick you off with the whole kind of, as Kelly said, our main platform really to use is Facebook, and that's where we've concentrated, and we always recommend that you do that. So we're going to kick you off with the first thing is what platforms and how many, what platforms or channels. By that, I mean, Facebook is a channel, Instagram, etc. They are all channels. So what channels are you using, and how many of them have you got? How many of them are you choosing to show up on, and to what degree are you choosing that? So we're always going to be advocates for nail one, then add, sort of always. But here's why you need to actually make a list of those. So the action for this one is to actively make a list of all the channels that you have. And when I say that, I mean, on Facebook, you have your own personal profile. You may have a group. You may have several groups. We have 2. You may have a page. So make a list. You may even have a shop that's attached to something. So you want to be making a list of all of your channels so that you understand how many of these you need a scheduler to manage as a very first thing. Taruna's saying, I would love to be in that position, but even up to December 2020 would be a win for me. Don't worry, honey, we've got you covered. And actually,
put that in your business tracker as one of your goals for this quarter then, and we'll support you.
and that will come into your promotional goal. That would actually be a really great promotional goal, hun. So back on track for all of you. So here's the thing. You need the tool of choice that you're going to use to be able to schedule and post on all of the channels that you have, because there's no point in scheduling just stuff on Facebook or Instagram if you've also got Twitter or whatever. So the first thing you want to look at is, what are all my channels, and does the scheduler that I actually am about to use cover all of those? So that's number one. So as Kelly said, we've created a comparison guide, blood, sweat, and tears in that one.
Shall I be nice and put it in for the
Just
guys?
put it in now.
So
Just put it in now.
That only but don't look at it while we're talking.
Because seriously, you actually do need the questions that we're talking you through to make even more sense of the comparison guide. As a first glance, it'll absolutely help you, but the questions will help you even more. I need to keep my mouth shut. Funnily enough, we just did an interview with someone where they came away with about 4 different actions. That's just how it happens with us. We want you to run a beautiful business, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
This guide that we just put the link in is going to compare not all of them, because there are millions, but the most popular ones out there. But the important thing is the guide is pretty useless without this live.
Yes.
Because this live gives you the questions and the insight that you then use the guide for. So don't go squirreling off and think you've got everything you need from this live.
Please. You will do yourself a disservice and you will waste time. So here's the thing. The first page of that guide absolutely gives you the overview of the most commonly used channels used by speakers, authors, and coaches. We're obviously going to have that filter on your behalf. But if you know that you also have success with something like Google Plus or even Zing or some other thing that channel that you're using, absolutely. Chris is saying, thank you for the to-do list. But if you know that you absolutely are using something else, you need to make sure that the scheduler of choice that you choose actively can support that. And there are many that support many. So we're just going to put that in there. So the comparison that we've got is the most commonly used by speakers, authors, and coaches, but there are definitely more. So again, this is why you need to make your own list. Then you need to understand how many channels you've actually got. So if, for example, so I'm back to the whole, you've got a Facebook page, you've got a Facebook profile, you've got a group that's for your free group, you've got a group for your challenge, you've got a group for the paid membership that you have. If you have 5 of those 5 could count as, this begins to impact on the price that you pay, because some places, some schedulers are based on the price that you pay per channel or per profile that you're actually doing. So you might actually have 30 or 20 as part of the package that you buy. So you need to make sure that you are purchasing the right level.
Yeah, and also knowing whether because we all have a personal profile, but I wouldn't ever schedule anything on my personal profile.
Exactly.
You might have a group where it is just about accountability and showing up. It's not about posts. It's where other people interact. So even though you have the channels, you've got to think, where is it content heavy that I need to put this plan in place?
And the biggest thing here is only some of them do it in that way. Hey, it's 3 users only, or it's this, it's that. So you need to start really thinking about. So the more information you have up front, the easier it is for you to evaluate of the shortlist that you make, to evaluate which one is going to be right for you, based partly on price, partly on productivity. So that's the first thing. What and how many? Make that list of all the channels so that you have clarity about that.
Yeah.
On to you, Kelly.
It's really handy then, because when you've listed all your channels of Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube and LinkedIn, then you've also then got to match the software that is right for those platforms. And so we, as Helene just said, we advise you to have your primary platform. Ours is Facebook, yours might be something else. And that's where the majority of the functionality needs to sit with. And we say this because when you choose a platform that matches your primary social media platform, is because they have such integrate features and functionality to do with the various social media ones. So like when we did a Facebook Live with Estelle, and she was talking about how to use your Instagram account. Now that would be, for example, Planoly is a great software that is very much linked to Instagram users.
For sure.
And also you might be somebody who's doing more of design features, and you might use Pinterest, for example. And then you've got, say, for example, Later is one that supports specifically Pinterest.
And they do some incredible things in there that actively allow you to schedule in advance, that allow you to recycle things. It's really, really good, but you need to choose.
Yeah. So like I was about to say, so in if you're using Instagram, we all know in Instagram posts you can't put any links in the post itself.
Yeah.
So in the post you have to refer to link in bio.
Yeah.
And if you're using something like Planoly, for example, it will allow you to, it will change the link in the bio for you. Or it might be the fact on Instagram that you actually need a social scheduler that actually already creates the first comment of the post. So these are like intricate details that are specific to your primary platform. And that's what's really
specific to how, and specific to how you actually use it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but even thinking about that, if you know that the most important thing is that first comment and you want to schedule what that says, that's vital. That can set up the tone for the level of engagement that you're actually doing. Sorry, Kelly. Sorry, I get very excited about this. I mean, it is phenomenal what these things can do.
So her research is bubbling over.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
And we've also done Facebook Lives on, like with Sam Drew, so for example, about how to run Facebook ad campaigns. And if that's something that you're looking at, then Buffer or Sendable are great ones because they actually directly link into the Facebook ad campaigns and let you comment on those straight away. So there's more engagement, there's more, the algorithm's much higher on there.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that was stopped us, right? This stopped us using a scheduler for a long time. The bloody Facebook API, right? We couldn't find a scheduler that allowed you to post in groups as a page, right? All the schedulers out there, because of the rules and stuff, was saying that you could only schedule in groups as the individual, so either Helena or myself, and that doesn't work because we're a brand, we're a duo, so we are Speaker Insight. So we literally put our scheduling on hold because most of our content is in our group. Yeah. Until, I don't know how you came across it or who recommended it.
Because I'm such a geek and I actually get AppSumo kind of in my inbox on a regular basis, and I sat through because I knew we needed one, and so I did the work.
So we came across this one called Publer, which allows you to do exactly what we wanted to do and lots more. We've actually fallen, I think our VA's fallen in love with it more than we have, but because we are primary Facebook focused, that is our primary platform. That's what we found that was the best one for us. We're not saying it's the best for you, but that was a feature that was a deal breaker that just got us out. And I don't know how many trials Helena did of different ones. And when she got into posting, it was like, no, can't post the page. So anyway, what I'm saying here is it's really important to get focused on what features do you need your primary platform to be able to do, and match the scheduler around that so that it optimizes your performance and does exactly what you want to do.
For sure. So
and breathe.
The next one. Hang on. I've just gone all echoey. Why have I gone echoey?
You haven't for me, but maybe the people that are watching, is Helena echoing? We put a yes or a no, and then we'll adjust.
Yeah, you can just let me know that. I am actually just going to give some love to Publer, just because I really, really do love them, and they are amazing. So I'm just going to give you and I'm going to go full on. It is an affiliate link, and I'm going to put it in there. It's like, it just gives them pennies, and they contribute to everybody else. They're just amazing. So anyway, that's just, my biased opinion, and I will say it's my biased opinion, but that's probably because I went through quite a lot to get there. So number 3. So we've talked about kind of the first thing is what and how many channels. The second thing is this whole choosing somewhere that absolutely accommodates what you want it to do, but also that is matching to your primary profile so that it's in there. Oh, the echo's gone away now. So I think it must have just been one of those delicious blips. So it's good.
No,
so
it's not.
Julie's saying it's still echoing. I can't hear it. So they might actually just be catching up with us because of course. So I'm just going to continue. So the third thing we're going to look at is really, is your focus really to have your scheduler be only a scheduling tool, or be more around all the engagement? Because trust us, some of these are just phenomenal at what else they can do. So just scheduling content and feeling the phew, I've done my bit until December 2020 may actually be enough. But let us tell you what some of the other features are that might even make you go, hang on a minute, I might rejig. Thanks, Julie. I might rejig how I'm doing it. So for example, kind of showing up on LinkedIn via posts may just be your way to stay present and be able to do reach outs as people are actually doing it. That might be enough for you. You might just, schedule a whole bunch of LinkedIn posts and you're absolutely in there. But if you are really choosing to use social media as the way that you generate engagement, the way that you actually get attention, you generate comments, you might want a way to actively organize that and be on top of getting back to people, because there's nothing worse than generating a really exciting and intriguing thing and then you not being present to answer it or being present to actively do that. And if you've got, let's say, 3 channels, how do you do them all in one place? Well, some of the schedulers have what they call a social inbox. They call them different things, priority inboxes, social inboxes, but you'll get the idea. And it's basically a place, imagine an inbox where all the comments and all the posts are actively collected in one place and you can just answer people as you go. If your business is built around conversations, then that's a non-negotiable for you, and you might want to look out for that. So the things that are really good at doing that are things like Social Pilot, eClincher, and again, back to Planoly for the Insta kind of Pinterest crowd. They all have these inboxes. So look out for those. And not all inboxes are created equal. I will tell you that as well. So some of them I was actually like, I really wish you did the posters page feature because I quite like this. But again, it comes down to what's important.
And it does, because that's one of the reasons why we moved over to StreamYard as well, because if we were going to stream this out across the various different channels, the comments section that shows on StreamYard actually brings all of the comments into one place. So if you're streaming onto LinkedIn and YouTube and blah, 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 we don't have to be looking at all those platforms for the comments. They all come into one place. So it's a very similar process to that. And it means that you're much more productive with your time and you don't miss stuff, because it's really hard, isn't it, to have eyes everywhere. And you're like, did I comment on that? Have I checked that post? It's just that, we're productivity geeks, so we are going to geek out on.
And of course, there are 2 of us, but there is highly likely only one of you, or one of you plus a VA support in some way, shape or form. So you want to make it as easy for you as you possibly can. And you want to be able to serve and deliver the stuff that you're actually doing. So scheduling that half hour or hour in the morning and a half hour in the afternoon, if you've got a social inbox, that may well be the way that you do it. Now, some of them go even further and they actually come with an inbuilt CRM system. Some of you are now going, really? Which ones? Right?
No, I think most people are running for the hills, actually.
Oh, hang on a minute. Some of you who are geeks will be going, really? Which ones? And the rest of you, which is probably the bulk of you, are running for the hills. Good point. Well made. Now, here's the thing. That CRM system means you can tag and track all the interactions that you have. So you can actually kind of come back around and continue a conversation that you maybe started a month ago. Maybe you let somebody know that you had a challenge coming up and you can actually go back around to them and go, hey, the challenge is live. Here's the actual link, etc. So you can tag and track people. That is a phenomenal feature. So some of the things like Agora Pulse, Sprout Social, don't worry, these are all in the actual comparison chart. And in the comparison chart, if you actually click on the name, you'll go straight through to the actual to the website itself. So did I say Sendible? Sendible also have this. Sendibles is really good. So now, and it goes even further.
Available.
Yeah, that's right. Seriously, I do actually feel like I'm a radio presenter right now. So Sprout Social, this is a winner. There are a couple of them that have inbuilt chatbots, and we know how popular chatbots are. So, if you actually want to know more about chatbots, we did actually do a fantastic training on that. So I might even dig that out for you a bit later. But so you've got the idea. Engagement absolutely is happening. There's another layer that actually goes in, which is called social listening. And it's actively, so your scheduler can actively listen to the trends that are happening in the wider world. So some of them will actually, on your behalf, knowing what your categories are, knowing how you are wanting to show up, will actively give you information so you can understand your competition, you can look at what people are looking at that are trending, and look at how your content is performing and which ones of them are actively performing best. So the monitoring and analytics, we're coming on to that in a moment, but it actually is bringing in things that you can focus on so that you actually get even more engagement. So something like Meet Edgar will actively even repurpose your most engaged content to increase your analytics. And some of them even go, this particular writing, here's a suggested post for you. Let us write this one for you. You just need to tweak it. Like, seriously, it writes it for you on the back of what you do. So, there's quite a lot in that one. So here's the action that you need to take. How do you currently do your engagement? What do you actively want your engagement to look like? Where do you want it to be? What do you already have in place that lets you communicate and track it? Or might it be that you actively really go all in and go, actually, I want my scheduler to do even more for me because this would be a great way to build my business. So
it's like
that was a lot
VA,
there.
basically, isn't it, for you? It's like a bot VA that actually does some research and some analytics for you. So it's great for those that hate that type of stuff.
For sure. I will try and rein in the geek in me. I'm really sorry.
Let it be. So we also need to think about what do you want to publish and the frequency of that, how often you're publishing. And let's just get this out of the way, because when you are doing your own research, it's really good to understand the terminology behind this. So when traditionally, and this will change, but traditionally, publishing actually normally means actually directly posting from within the social media software itself. So you can actually post, rather than going onto the platform of Facebook, LinkedIn, you can post directly in there. That's normally what they mean by publish. Yeah. The difference between scheduling means that you're scheduling posts in advance, right? So you're writing them and you're saying that needs to go out at 12 p.m. on the 20th of blah, blah, blah. So just be aware of those two terminologies, because you might get a bit mixed up when comparing things when it says publish. Mm-hmm. Some questions to ask yourself then around the scheduling side of things, because that is what most people desire, is do you actually need to bulk upload posts and files? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, like we normally will have 3 months worth of content created, written, planned every quarter, so that if one of us goes sick, goes on holiday, we don't have to think about it, it's all done. And then that's on top of our scheduled posts that are out there till 2022. These are our live interviews and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But if you have content that you want to bulk upload, so I know that, say for example, Chris has just joined us and he's just run a website challenge with Jude recently. There might be a whole load of posts there that are to do specifically with the challenge, and they need to bulk upload that content. That's something which is a feature that not all software provides you with. So something to think about. The other one.
Kelly, I'll also say this is that some of them limit you to, for example, 500 posts at a time. So you might actually want to do more. Some of you are probably thinking 500 posts, what? But actually that can be a real limitation. That was one of the things that I found, that we were only allowed. So some of them might be 500 posts over a certain time. That would only have got me to January 2021. Yeah.
So if you look on across our page, our group and our paid group, we have 66 posts that go out weekly, right? So when you're looking at the amount of posts, that's not going to get us very far. We might as well just stay with Facebook and do 2 months worth of posts and not pay for anything.
For sure.
So that is the next question. So not only bulking, but how far in advance do you want to schedule your posts? Yeah. Because there is a limit on some platforms that will only allow you to do it 2 or 3 months or whatever. So you're limited on how much content and you're limited on time. So these are all questions that you need to be aware for yourself to then go, well, actually, it makes us feel so we can sleep at night that our scheduled posts are there till 2022. Whatever happens, second wave of COVID, whatever, we're sorted, right?
Yes, for sure.
So they're the things about publishing and scheduling. What you might also realize is that if you're a bit of a curator, so if you're looking at other people's content and you do actually post other people's blog posts and you put your own comments with it and you curate other people's knowledge, some software has the ability to pull that content from other people. So whether that's actually using an RSS feed or actually using the direct links with their browser extensions, you can actually queue other people's materials in your software with your own comments and suggestions on there. So for curators that are out there or people that become hubs of information, that's something you might want to look at.
And I'm just gonna, so Taruna, that's where something like, stressing you out with 500 posts, if you think about it, if you become a curator and you become the source of all knowledge for the things in your industry, you can set these up to automatically pull in. Yes, you can review them, but you're reviewing what it's automatically pulled in, and that can be really helpful. So maybe no need to stress out.
Yeah, and similarly like that, you might have, and then lots of people do, weekly tips or real ask me anything Q&As. These are the commonly asked questions. There might be regular content that you have that goes up that you just keep on adding to, and so that's when you might want to look at the features of auto posting and recycling, which are terminologies. And what that means is you can upload a pool of information of content and posts.
Yeah.
But you don't care what day those posts go out on or what order they go out on. If you say every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I want a tip post to go into my group, certain scheduling software will then go, this is the pool to choose from, and it will just keep on pulling it in until the content's used, and then it will start recycling and going back to it. But you can keep on adding and adding. So you know that you're never going to not have a tip that goes out at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, because that pool's in there, right? And it gives you, this is the consistency. This is the thing where you're not having to spin millions of plays and be a speaker, author, or coach at the same time. This is covered for you, but it does take the legwork to set it up initially, right?
Yeah.
So the action of this one about publishing frequency and stuff is determine how much of your content is static, how much of it is organic, how much of it is promotional led, and how often do you want to or need to create or curate new posts? Because that will understand your rhythms in your business and your cycles, and then that says about frequency and the amount of posts, which are things you need to investigate.
So I'm very impressed. 9 of you are still here, live and delicious. You haven't run for the hills yet, and stay with us because there's even more. So the next little bit is actually your person. Aura's just, oh, thank you. So I will read this out. Aura, bless you. You are awesome, ladies. Still sound like a very rural Chinese dialect, but some of the vocab sticks. That is good. That is good. So, our job here is really to open up your eyes to how you might go about choosing something, because we know that's actually one of the things, as you say, feels a little bit like a rural Chinese dialect. I'm going to start using that, I think. So the next little piece, and it is the 5th one, so therefore we promised you 5, so we're nearly there. Nearly there. So, and this one is really all around how easy is it to use for you. And how the UI or the UX, that is definitely Chinese stuff. So the user interface, i.e. what it looks like, and the user experience, i.e. what it feels like, and the analytics is a component that you also need to start thinking about. So the real questions to ask yourself are, do I like using this? Does it feel like the thing that I want? Does it look like, does it inspire me when I look at it? It might not initially, but I promise you, once you start to see the effects of it, it will inspire you even more. But most of the software these days, and it wasn't even true about a year ago, because I did start looking in 2019, but most of them actually have got a visual calendar. So you can literally drag and drop, because most of us are used to dragging and dropping nowadays. Ni hao. So most of us are used to kind of dragging and dropping things in. So you can literally create a calendar that has all the different posts in it. That's actually very familiar and kind of duplicates what we're used to. And that might actually be something that you want to look at. Okay,
I'm just going to add in here, because what some of you might know, God, was it last week? I have no idea when we launched this, but we launched our
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. Market Your Way. So if you are in this world of, oh, okay, I need the scheduler, but actually I don't even know what my content looks like, what my plan, what goes out on what day, how have I even got a marketing plan? Have I even got a content plan? Then we've already put that course together for you called Market Your Way. It's $14.99, guys. It's like a no-brainer, where all of your content and marketing plans are created for you, how to repurpose content. You use that to then go to what Helena's saying, to then use this interface to then move it over and actually go, or your VA goes, this is what goes out, and now can you replicate that on the schedule?
And that's exactly it. So it makes it very, very simple and easy. So ease of use is definitely a criteria. So that's why we're actually suggesting that you do sign up for some trials. And I'll talk about that in a second. You do actually go and have a look at it. You do actually go and even see the pictures that are that are on the websites themselves, so that you get a sense of, oh, I don't like the look of that one. There was one, I literally just went, I like the idea of this, but there's no way I'm going to use it. Like it just didn't gel, right? And so there's a personal preference in here, but a personal preference for you and for the person who's doing it most.
Yeah, because you might not like it, but your VA thinks, oh my God, this is how my brain works, and your brain doesn't work like that.
For sure.
And I think Ian might be swearing at us in Chinese now. I can't speak Chinese, but
please translate.
I'll have to go onto Facebook and do translate afterwards, but don't swear at us.
So here's the thing, because, sort of if you are going to be doing auto scheduling and see how that all works, you want to be working out how everything will fit and seeing it visually all over the course of a month. If you've got a promotion, happening at the end of the month, you want to see what you're leading up to and be able to switch things around. That's a really important kind of feature of the visual calendar. But actually, the look and feel is also as important. So that's why we're saying most of them have a 7-day trial for the ones that you do need to pay for and pay for consistently. There are quite a few that you can at a lower level, again, how many channels and all of that, at a lower level that actually do free forever versions, but it might only be one user or one. Oh, we speak great wisdom, bless you. But the rest of them have a 7-day, a 14-day, a 30-day. So one of them even has a 28-day trial that helps you figure out if you really like it. And I would honestly say, think about that carefully. Clear a week, clear some time in your week and actively go through your paces, knowing what you know from what we've been showing you, right? Does it do what you want it to
first? Shortlist it to 3 max, and then do what Helena says and just go, okay, I like the feel of this one. This one feels more intuitive. This one feels clunky. This one's got this feature, which I really want, and then make the decision.
Because you are going to be managing how you show up on a long-term basis. This is you are making a commitment to a piece of software that you are going to be with for a long time to come, because it is, as Kelly said before, it is a part of your business. It is an employee that is going out there and doing the work, the grunt work of being present for everybody for a long time. So that's one element of it. The second element is, what are you tracking? Kelly and I are always going to come back to, what are the foundations in your business? Are you working your business as a business? And are you being effective and efficient in it? So working out what you base your metrics on, i.e. how do you know that it's working for you? You are going to want some reporting and some tracking and some analytics that, again, you like the look and feel of, that you can actually interpret, that's not too scary in some way. But the biggest thing for you is, and this is our call to action really, is determining, what's working and what's not based on, is it engagement stats that you're looking at? Is it increasing your number of followers? Is it actually adding to your database? Is it the conversion into your paid stuff? What's important to you? And does the piece of software that you're going to use actually track that and help you with that, and even help you do more of that? Like we said with the Facebook ads earlier on, for example, that might be something that adds. Go ahead.
And just give you that dashboard, right? Rather than you going on, clicking on your Facebook, working out the increase that you've had that month, and all, it will just do these beautiful charts that show you, this is your conversion ratio, this is how much you've grown this month. So it just makes it easy.
For sure. And it also allows you to simply understand how you are running your business. Now we on a quarterly basis inside our membership called Changemaker Central, we have a business tracker. We actively make all of our members run their business by measuring, and they have stats that they measure. So are those stats reflected and reported on in the way that you want them to inside your scheduling of choice? So the action here for you is two. One, do the trials so that you can, shortlist, then do the trials so that you can work out whether you like the look of it, you like the feel of it, you like what it looks like. But definitely, and Kelly's just put the link in, I think, for the Changemaker. You can come and just check us out. We never do anything, sort of in a way that forces you into anything. So come and check us out for a month. You can do that for free. That's absolutely, you are most welcome to do that. But work out what are the metrics that are going to work for you, and see if they, is this a fit for you? Because that's vital. Because otherwise you just won't use it.
Yeah. And in the Market Your Way program that I put a link to as well, there is a section in there around metrics and insights, a page to actually help define what those things are for you. So again, it's another way of a quick fire route rather than the whole business metrics, just looking at your marketing.
For sure.
So, 45 minutes.
But it's a big one.
We've got more people joining than we had at the beginning, so that's a good thing.
Thank you.
So what we always say about all of the software, like I said at the beginning, there isn't a one size fits all. Unfortunately, it's not a which software should I use, magic wand, and that's the right thing for everybody. Yeah. We want you to take the time and understand the key principles, the key features, your budget, your functionality, your aesthetics, who's it for. All these things are all the questions that you need to ask yourself before you then download our lovely guide, who I put another link to as well. I know I'll link to it in a minute. And the key to this is because you might all freak out about tech and you might think that we're speaking Chinese, as you said earlier. But it's really important that you get your head around this, because the point is to make your life easier so that you can do more of the things that you love to do, which is speaking, writing and coaching. And you know that this stuff is being consistent, it's got it covered. It's doing the things that you hate, like insights and research and repurposing and blah, 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 blah. It's that lovely little it's that lovely little bot that is there working all this stuff out for you so that you can actually increase your engagement, your productivity and your impact, which is what we're all about. And it means that you're showing up in the way that it attracts the attention that you want, that creates the trust and consistency with your messaging. And also you use the scheduling software as a follow-up.
Yes.
Right? Because when people are commenting on things and you've got that social inbox and you've got that, you're not losing the leads, the time, you're not wasting your effort on social, which so many of us do, because not just the cat videos, but because there's too much noise, we get lost of what are we supposed to do, who's done this, who said yes to this post. So this is the first step, I would say, to starting this automation process to get a real good footing in your social presence, really, so that you get good connection and good conversion.
Yeah. So we would love to know, sort of if you've what's your biggest takeaway? What's the first thing you're going to do on, there are 12 of you watching right now. What are you going to do as a result of this? We've hopefully opened your eyes to the fact that you do need something like this if you're serious about your business. So what is the first thing that you're going to do and your big takeaway? Thank you so much for paying attention all the way through, despite all the geekiness. And we will catch you next week, and certainly inside the Connection Hub, probably in about half an hour.
Have a great day.